100.7 FM.
All right, a beautiful morning to you and yours, and rise and shine. It is 8:03, that is 3 minutes after 8 a.m. from the studios of Melody 100.7 FM. This beautiful morning, 29th day in the month of August. Yeah, so August is winding up, and it is almost time for us to enter into the ember months. And before you know it, it's December. And we're wrapping up for the year 2025. First up, I want to say you've done really good. Yes, whatever it is that you're going through right now, you've done really good making it to this point. And also to remind you not to be pressurized if you've not really met all the goals that you've set for yourself. So that is not even the motivation quote for today, but we'll get into that in due time. All right, so my name is Bolabad, and I'll be here from now until 9:55 this morning. All right, so basically we'll be doing a lot of things together per usual. Between now and 8:10 we'll be going through the weather forecast and also checking out the motivation quotes for today. And once it is 8:10, we'll go through the front pages of various Nigerian dailies this very morning. We'll go through the front page of every, a handful of Nigerian dailies this morning. And by 8:30, the sports crew will be in the studios to take us through the world of sports, telling you what is what about things you need to know concerning sports-related issues and sports itself. All right, so once it is 8:50, I'll return to the studios, and once it is 9 a.m., we'll be moving straight into the People's Assembly, where we get to talk about things that is going on in our society. Sometimes we talk about politics, sometimes we talk about societal issues, and sometimes it's about moral standing and all of that. Okay, so basically we'll be doing that for 30 minutes today, and once it is 9:30, there will be the mechanic in the studios to take us through the world of automobile, talking about things going on in that world as well. Okay, and 9:55 we'll wrap up the show and call it a day. Okay, so you have nothing to be worried about. It's going to be a great show this morning. All right, so basically let us check out the weather forecast first to see what is going on today. All right, so right now it's about 23 degrees Celsius, feels like 22 degrees Celsius, and the temperature will keep rising to peak at 28 degrees Celsius later this afternoon. And also then starts dropping to the lowest of 23 degrees Celsius later tonight. Chances of rainfall today set at 60%. And 60% is over an average. So my rain and it might not still, because these things actually change with the direction of the wind, like I always do say. But just so you know, the prediction of rainfall is set at around between 3 p.m. and 6 p.m. Today. Okay, sunset is around 6:53 p.m. tonight, and that is when everything will go dark, and it's going to just be like that. All right, so do not forget that is the weather forecast for today. Is not really set in stones, but just gives you an idea of what the weather will look like today. Okay, so moving on from that to the motivation quote for today. The motivation quote for today actually talks about, if you actually been paying attention from Monday, you see that I've been talking about stormy times and how to cope in a stormy situation when you're going through life challenges and everything. Now we're going to wrap it up with what to do or what you should do after that challenge or turbulent time has passed over. So the quote for today says, even after the most challenging and turbulent times, which is the storm, better days will come. The sun will smile. And every difficulty or adversity, which is a problem, can be overcome with a simple solution, and it is our fundamental, unshakable responsibility to remain optimistic and maintain a cheerful attitude. That is, the soul's indefeasible duty is to be of good cheer, even when things seem bleak. I'll take that again. The phrase actually says, even after the most challenging and turbulent times, which is the storm, better days will come. The sun will smile. Every difficulty or adversity, which is the problem, can be overcome with a solution, and it is our fundamental and unshakable responsibility to remain optimistic and maintain a cheerful attitude. The soul's indefeasible duty is to be of good cheer even when things seems bleak. Now let's break down the quote. After every storm, the sun will smile. That is one part of the quote, and this is a metaphor for hope and new beginnings. It suggests that no matter how dark or difficult a situation may seem, it is temporary and will eventually give way to brighter times and joy. Another part of the quote says, for every problem there is a solution. That part of the quote actually emphasizes that challenges are insurmountable. For every difficulty, there exists a way to overcome it or find a resolution. And another part of the quote says, and the soul's indefeasible duty is to be of good cheer. First off, let's talk about the duty of the soul. The soul's duty, the term actually refers to something that is a fundamental, innate purpose or responsibility of a person's inner self, right? The indefeasible part means that this duty cannot be taken away, cancelled, or made invalid. And the last one that says to be of good cheer, this is an obligation to remain positive, optimistic, and hopeful rather than giving in to sadness and despair that the turbulent times might have actually brought upon us. So in essence, the quote encourages resilience, belief in solutions, and the conscious choice to maintain a positive outlook, as these qualities are an essential, unwavering part of the human experience. So don't forget, the quote is rather long and a mouthful. It says, even after the most challenging and turbulent times, the storm, better days will come and the sun will smile. Every difficulty or adversity, which is a problem, can be overcome with a solution, and it is our fundamental and unshakable responsibility to remain optimistic and remain cheerful. Maintain a cheerful attitude, because the soul's indefeasible duty is to be of good cheer even when things seem bleak. It actually just encourages you to do better and welcome a new day with a smile. You shouldn't even be grumpy once the turbulent time is over. This is just saying enter into a good mood, or just be thankful that you went through with that and came out unscathed, right? All right, so with that being said, I'll be heading back to the music, and this one is Asha coming through with Ocean. Stick around and keep it locked, don't go anywhere. All right, so The show goes on.
For this, I know you're too big for this. Tell me where you wanna be. I know where you wanna be. Hope it's not too good for you. I hope I'm not too much for you. I know where I wanna be. Why wouldn't you just let me in? Maybe I move too fast before we come too far. Maybe we take it slow. Don't wanna make you sad, don't wanna make you mad. I'll never hit below. For you are the ocean. You are the ocean. Boy, you are the ocean. You are the ocean.
Station Melody 100.7 FM.
Open my eyes, show me who they for me. Make I know they pop with my enemy. Scatter them far away across the 7 seas. Help away the disguise, not principality. Oh Lord have mercy, mercy. This fake love and the plenty, plenty. Then they try to man dirty, dirty. Jaja, man, Jesse, Jesse, yo, yo. Who born the person, person? We won't cross me, may they try me, try me. Red eye, no more body, body. Can't kill my light, I'm sorry, sorry, oh. When I show, may they make way when I show. Me them go say I go the boss, I go the dengue, I go the boss. Then go walk up with them when I show. Me them make way when I show. Me them go say I go the boss, I go the dengue, I go the boss. Then go walk up with them. As you can see, I'm just beginning, and I trouble nobody, so make nobody bother me. Yeah. As you see me, not God they fight for me. Nobody touching me, can't stop my destiny. Waiting I do. Yeah, be your daily news. It's been a long time and I pay my dues. I'm premium now, so I pick and choose. Níta fàájì wọ́n mọ bí mo ṣe jẹ́. Bad boy days, I no apologize. Bet on myself and I'm rolling the dice. Kilamity, oh Lord have mercy, mercy. This fake love and they plenty. Then they try to man dirty. Ja, man, Chelsea, yo. Who born the Bessie? We won't cross me, may they try me. Red eye, no more body. Can't kill my light, I'm sorry, yo. When I show, may they make way when I show. May they go say I go the boss. I go the dengue, I go the boss. Then go walk out together when I show. May they make way when I show. May they go say I go the boss. I go the dengue, I go the boss. Then go walk out together. Make I know the pop.
Alright, I don't let go rather with the song Mercy, and this is Melody Sunrise on Melody 100.7 FM, 17 minutes past 8 a.m. And it is time to go through the front pages of various Nigerian dailies. Per usual, I have the Punch newspaper, the Guardian newspaper, Vanguard newspaper, and Nigerian Tribune, as well as the Nation newspaper. Alright, so we'll begin from the front page of the Nation newspaper, checking out the headlines. And this one says, the first one I'll be taking says, PDP wooing Obi with 2027 ticket, says Bala. And that story has a rider attached to it, says Secondus active again in party. And that story can be found on page 3 of the Nation newspaper this morning. To another headline says NEC OK's 4-year medium-term development plan. And that story is on page 2 of the Nation newspaper this morning as well. Abuja Kaduna route safe, says a mockery after tour. And that story is on page 3 of the Nation newspaper this morning. To another headline, Ebonyi raises a minimum wage to 90,000 naira monthly, and that story is on page 6. Seems some states are actually following suit with what Imo State did earlier this week. Okay, now moving on to another headline. This one says, I'm driving growth with foreign engagements, says Tinubu. That story is on the front page and continues on page 3 of the Nation newspaper this morning. Government panel to review post-2009 agreement with ASU. The story has the writer attached to, says Polytechnic workers serve strike notice. And that story is on the front page and continues on page 3 as well of the Nation newspaper this morning. To another headline, DSS files charges against 9 suspects over killings in Benue Plateau. And that story is on page 6 of the Nation newspaper this very morning. Now to the biggest headline on the front page of the Nation. Ojulari, that is the kicker. NNPCL lost $500 million monthly to refineries operation. And that story has a writer attached to it as well. Says oil giant will adopt private partnership to ensure sustainable profitability. And that story is on the front page but continues on page 3 of the Nation newspaper this morning. To another headline, this one says police seals off Edo NLC secretariat, and that story is on page 25 of the Nation newspaper this morning. To another headline, this one says, or your assembly, that is the kicker, approval of 300 billion loan in order, and that story is on page 25 of the Nation newspaper this morning. Now moving on to the front page of Nigerian Tribune. This one says PDP considering Jonathan Obi for 2027 presidency. Bauchi governor confirms. And that story is on page 5 of Nigerian Tribune this morning. We are under attack. NNPC CEO cries out. So that story has a writer attached to it, says oil workers back reforms. And that story is on page 15 of the Nigerian Tribune this morning. To the biggest headline on the front page of the Nigerian Tribune, a federal government denies signing any agreement with ASU. And that story has 2 writers attached to it. First one says, describes document as draft. And the second one says, sets up technical team to fine-tune government's proposal. And all of that can be found on page 3 of Nigerian Tribune this morning. To another headline, this one says 2027, I am not contesting any position, says El Rufai. And that story is on page 4 of Nigerian Tribune this morning. To another headline, this one says excess crude account and now $535,823. And that story has a rider attached to it, says NEC orders accelerated reforms. And that story is on page 15 of Nigerian Tribune this morning. To another headline, Ibadan Convention. That is the kicker of this headline. PDP set to inaugurate Fintiri, Makinde, Adeleke, Fubara, Saraki, 105 others as organizing members. And the story is on page 5 of the Nigerian Tribune this morning. Moving on to another headline. This one says diabetes fuels more aggressive breast cancers, says study. And the story is on page 3 of Nigerian Tribune this morning. To another headline, Ocean Public Servant owed solidarity rally for Adeleke. As a writer attached to it says he is empathetic to workers. And that story can be found on page 12 with also a picture attached to the front page showing the rally that the workers actually went for. Okay. And that story can be found on page 12 of Nigerian Tribune this morning. And to the final headline I'll be taken from the front page of Nigerian Tribune this morning. Federal government targets 1 week passport delivery, vows to end racketeering. And that story is on page 12 of the Nigerian Tribune this morning. Moving on to Vanguard newspaper this morning, and the first headline says Dangote Group Ethiopia signed deal to build $2.5 billion fertilizer plant. And that story is on page 19 of Vanguard newspaper this morning. To another headline, Guild of Editors condemn killings of journalists in Gaza. And that story is on page 9 of Vanguard newspaper this morning. I am under attack. Some people are plotting to unseat me. NNPCLG CEO Ojulari says, and that story is on page 9 of Vanguard newspaper this morning. Federal government ASU disagree over agreement. And that story is on page 8 of Vanguard newspaper this morning. And to the biggest headline on the front page, 2027, that is the kicker. Opposition parties battle INEC over voters' data. And that story has a handful of riders attached to it. ADC, Labour Party, PDP, Atiku, false data, demand probe. Another one says no irregularities in Osun voter pre-registration figures, says INEC. Another one says polls are in danger. ADC says Labour Party calls for vigilance, says INEC's body language frightening. Another one says queries Osun's 393,000 new voters in 1 week, demands forensic audit. Another one says PDP blames weak institution for statistically implausible voter figures in Osun. And another writer says Atiku demands probe into contrived voter figures in Osun. 6th Amendment of Electoral Act, stoppage of manual result collation. And the last one says we are ready to help INEC address disparities, says a forensic expert. All of that can be spotted on page 5 of Vanguard newspaper this morning. Now to another headline. This one says 2027 Amechi rules out stepping down. And that story has a writer attached to it as well. Declares interest in ADC presidential ticket. And the story can be found on page 9 of Vanguard newspaper this morning. To another headline, terrorism. That is the kicker. DSS files charges against 9 suspects over Benue Plateau killings. And that story is on page 6 of Vanguard newspaper this morning. Court declines to stop Rivers local government poll as police restrict movement. And that story is on page 12 of Vanguard newspaper this morning. Diaspora inflows hit $600 million monthly, says Cardoso. And that story is on page 19 of Vanguard newspaper this morning. Now to some pictorial headline. This one says Oborevori presents Delta's potential to Brazilian investors. And that story has a picture attached to it on the front page of Vanguard newspaper this morning. Now moving on to the Guardian newspaper this morning really quick, and the first headline says Ethiopia to rank second in SSA's urea production with Dangote's 3 millimeter fertilizer plant, and that story is on the front page and continues on page 25 of the Guardian newspaper this morning. To another headline, NNPCL vows to revive refineries, shops for $60 billion to expand capacity, and that's the reason page 3 of the Guardian newspaper this morning. You can't intimidate us, Osun workers tells federal government over withheld local government funds, and that story is on page 27 of the Guardian newspaper this morning. 2027, that is the kicker. I am not leaving NNPP but open to discussion, says Kwakwanso, and that story is on page 3 of the Guardian newspaper this morning. To the biggest headline on the front page, the kicker says bad for business, and the story reads surge in unruly fan conduct, match day violence plunge NPFL in crisis, and the story can be found on pages 4 and 5 of the Guardian newspaper with pictures attached of some sort of unrest after a match. Okay, so to another headline, this one says federal government approves lifetime salaries for retiring senior officers, and that story is on page 7 of the Guardian newspaper this morning. Nigeria facing malnutrition, 79% food insecure, says federal government, and that story is on page 7 of the Guardian newspaper this morning. 2027, that is the kick of this headline. INEC fires back as ADC PDP demand probe of new voters record in Osun, and that story can be found on page 6 of the Guardian newspaper this morning. Tertiary institutions on edge of as ASU, SSANIP, federal government fueled heightened strike fears, and that story is on page 6 of the Guardian newspaper this morning. Kidnappers of Katsina couple daughter demand 600 million naira ransom, and that story is on page 29 of the Guardian newspaper. Now moving on to the front page of the Punch newspaper swiftly this morning. Federal government ASU clash over 2021 agreement, and that story is on page 2 of the Punch newspaper this morning. NEC unveils a roadmap to 1 trillion naira economy by 2030, and that story is on page 40 of the Punch newspaper. Long-term neglect hindering refineries revamp, says NNPC, and that story is on page 28 of the Punch newspaper this morning. Federal government defends passport price hike to 100,000 and 200,000 naira, and that story can be found on pages 39 of the Punch newspaper this morning. Tariff war, that is the kicker. Federal government intervenes as state discos rift deepens, and that story has a handful of riders attached to it. NERC summons meeting between State Energy Commissioner and discos operator, and that story also, another writer says tariff reduction can't work, says discos, and another writer says our focus is on power sector reform, says commissioners, and that can be found on page 27 of the Punch newspaper this morning. Motorists lament slow Shagamu Ijebu Day road repairs, and that story is on page 40 of the Punch newspaper this morning. Awaiting trial, inmates feeding gobs 14 billion naira in 8 months, and that story is on page 39 of the Punch newspaper as well. Federal government eyes 21% GDP boost with e-governance bill, and that story is on page 29 of the Punch newspaper this morning. How 8,000 naira dispute led to Lagos market killing, says traders, and that story can be found on pages 4 and 5 of the Punch newspaper this morning. And to another one, INEC pushes back as opposition rejects Southwest voter figures, and that story is on page 2 of the front of the Punch newspaper this morning. All right, that is as far as we can go. Checking out the front page of the nation, the various Nigerian dailies in the nation this morning. All right, so I'll be heading back to the music, and don't worry, very soon the sports crew will be in the studios, and this one is Ashaket doing basket. Stick around.
Ololade mi Asake.
23, 24, she can't tell them before me, let's stop to defend the fall. She like, yeah, bum bum bum, in the top, be the baba, I'm going for. Tell me what to do, I can't do, me, I know skid that do. Tell me what to do, I know behind you. Then bad do my bad do, free I cut a can do. Then small shut a band do. Walking poetry, I am data. Walk over to Gaskia, now Gaskia, what I love ya. Now one, no time for drama. Walking poetry, I am data. Walk over to Gaskia, now Gaskia, what I love ya. Now one, no time for drama. El Chapo, the police are obey the commander. Capon, Capon the duty. I'm on one, what do you ginger? I'm guilty. That's my swag, the queue. I don't grab you, no it's hard to swallow the pew. Then I jump, then I inky. Though I keep, shout out to my space, my mama, she be my queen. Oh, go, Taluba, Mogo, and the Ugo, Dumbo. I'm a call to the Bogo, Puloko, Umoko, only Rocco, Emilio, Moton, Fioko, yeah. All that's on me, bitch, too bad. See, I'm too bad. You could feel I'm like all those too dry. I know the booker, I be cooker. Never lose, I can't catch the way we did do right. Sunny means I know no John. I get many pages like some Solomon. All I know be Muhammad. Kuruwa, they like to reach and jump on. 23, 24, she can't tell them before me. Let's talk to the 24. She like, yeah, bum, in the top, be the baba, I'm for the call. Tell me what to do, I can't do. Me, I know skid that do. Tell me what to do, I know behind you. Then bad do my bad do. Free I cut a can do. Then small shut a band do. Walking poetry, I am data. Walk over to Gaskia. Now Gaskia, what I love ya. Now one, no time for drama. Walking poetry, I am data. Walk over to Gaskia. Now Gaskia, what I love ya. Now one, no time for drama. El Chapo, the police are obey the commander. Capon, Capon the duty. I'm on one, what did you ginger? I'm guilty, that's my swag, the queue. I don't go up you, no it's hard to swallow the pew.
All right, so we're back to it. Ashake doing basket, and this is still Melody Sunrise on Melody 100.7 FM. My name is Bolabad, and it is time to talk sports because I have Akim Bobola in the studios. A beautiful morning to you.
Good morning, Bolabad.
How's it going?
Very fine, very chilled.
Okay.
So nice to be here today on the program.
Okay. All right, now, so what's going on in the world of sports? So nobody should drag me for Manchester's loss. I beg.
I mean,
Just let me breathe. Let me breathe.
It's past already, but yeah, we have a lot to talk about today. The National Youth Games is currently going on, and there've been a lot of concerns. Yes, some athletes have been complaining about the situation of the place where they have been camped. That's Asaba Delta. No water, no power, no beds. Athletes enjoy harsh conditions at the Asaba Youth Games. So a lot of them have been complaining the situation of the food and all of it. And also transfer. We'll talk about the fact that Alejandro Garnacho has joined Chelsea Football Club. I'm sorry that you'll not be happy with that because he's a former United player. That's Manchester United player. And also a lot of things happening in the world of transfer. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, also the former Manchester United manager. He has been sacked at Besiktas. We'll talk about that today on the program. And yes, transfer 2 days to go. Yeah, there's also a player that's joined Newcastle. Voltamade. Yeah, he joined Newcastle right there. Very, very good striker. I saw him play for the Germany under 21. And I think it's going to be a very good replacement for Alexander Isak, who is still in limbo. And he really wants to join this club. That's a Liverpool Football Club right there. So many things we'll be talking about today on the program. Yeah.
All right. So that being said, I'll be stepping aside, but to return by 8:50, it is time to talk sports. Welcome.
From deep and out. After smashing ball, it's Martins. Josie, Yobo, the Google. And it's just out to the bow. Simco Odesi. Sensational. What a wonderful finish. That is the most embarrassing own goal. Oh, what a goal. But something out of nothing. He struck it sweetly. And does he ever score ordinary goals? They're all copybook stuff.
top of the morning to you from wherever you're listening. This is Melody 100.7 FM. This is where we dish out the best of sporting stories making rounds the world of sports. All right, today I've got lots of stories to talk about. We're going to be talking about the National Youth Games. What is happening? I just discussed it with Bolabad. We'll talk about that today on the program. We'll talk about Nigerian players abroad. Aroko Darius in the news. Gift Oba in the news. I'll go on to the foreign team and talk about the situation happening with some of these players. 2 days to go before the end of transfer. We've been seeing some players move to different clubs right there, and also we talk about the fact that coaches are being sacked. And Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was just sacked right there at Besiktas. We'll talk about that today on the program. All right, with that further ado, let me bring on Fortune Ogba, the Sport Jollof. Fortune, good morning.
The bam bam, the bam bam, the bam bam, the bam bam. Good morning, my brother. It's another beautiful time to be on the radio. I mean, it's a beautiful weekend. The weather has been so chilly, exciting, and all of that. But let's talk sports this morning.
All right, I am Akimbo Bola Egunfemi. Welcome aboard. All right, starting from the National Youth Games, as serious concerns have emerged over the state of preparedness of Delta State as the 9th National Youth Games faces widespread criticism just days before its official open. Delegations from at least 6 states have reported substandard living conditions, poor welfare provision, and unsafe infrastructure at the Games Village in Asaba, where over 6,300 young athletes are expected to compete. Athletes from Jigawa, Yobe, Osun, Edo, Benue, and Federal Capital Territory who have arrived on August 6 and August 27 have been accommodated at the Anglican Girls College on Inebisi Road right there. However, reports indicate that the facility is far from ready, with no electricity, no running water, and inadequate sanitation 2 days after the arrival. And in an interview, team officials expressed deep concerns over the well-being of their athletes, most of whom are under the age of 15. One state delegation leader stated it's not acceptable to keep children here for 2 days without electricity and water. It's completely unsafe. A member of the local organizing committee asked a state official to contribute funds to fuel a generator, promising only 3 hours of power supply during the night. Meanwhile, construction work at the key venues remains incomplete. I mean, Fortune Ogba, a lot has been said as regards the situation at the National Youth Game. What do you make of this story? This report coming out from Delta State right there, and the situation where we have young athletes there, most of them under 15. Yesterday you talked about a certain athlete who is 10 years, and looking at the situation, what do you make of this story?
Well, see, in as much as this might not sound so good, but this is Nigeria. If you don't get stuff like this, you don't get stories like this, you begin to think if you've just found yourself outside the Nigerian climate, because when things start going so well, there will always be something to stain the white that we are trying to portray. I mean, we've been talking about the glorious days of sports in the past couple of days. Of course, we saw that they're managing to do so well. I mean, but this is kind of disappointing from the Delta State government. I mean, this is not the first time they are hosting the National Youth Games. So I'm wondering why it seems like they are not prepared. Because if they were prepared, they at least shouldn't be coming out to say there's no water, there's no light, and all of that. And also considering the fact that we have young people there who really need these things. I mean, these athletes need to be in the best of conditions: good light, good water supply, relaxed, so that they can give their best. I was with the finance and I was saying that the Nigerian Sports Commission should go there to really take a good look at these guys, see them, get the best of them to train them and prepare them for games outside the country, even outside the continent. But how are we going to get the best if we don't give them very good conditions to really carry out their trainings and exercise and really perform? So I fear this is not a very nice one. I want to plead to the Delta State government that they look into this. I mean, the games are starting today, and, shortly, and then this complaint is still coming out. It's not fair. It's not good. It's looking like from the national body to the state body, when it comes to sports, we always have this kind of little stigmas, these little things that drag us back. And I fear for us, but please, they should pay attention to this, do something real fast so we can get our boys performing at all levels, really smart, really fine, no hiccups whatsoever, so we can get the best of them to send them outside if necessary.
right, let's leave that one and talk about the situation happening with the Super Eagles of Nigeria. Our South African coach, Hugo Bruce, has acknowledged that Nigeria's Super Eagles remain the most formidable obstacle in the Bafana's path to the 2026 FIFA World Cup, despite their underwhelming start to the qualifiers. In an interview, the Belgian coach emphasized that the importance of the upcoming September 9 fixture, describing Nigeria as the team to beat in Group C. And this was what he said. He said, "We knew from the start that the team we had to beat was Nigeria." Bruce stated, even though they started badly, they can still qualify. Nigeria currently sit fourth in the group with 7 points, 6 behind group leader South Africa. The upcoming clash is pivotal for both sides. A win for Nigeria would breathe a new life into their qualifying campaign, while a defeat could lead their World Cup hopes hanging by a thread. This is South African coach coming out to speak as regards the fact that Nigeria can still qualify. And so many Nigerians, I won't lie, I'm part of the Nigerians that feel
believe.
Don't
say you feel, you believe
that Nigeria would not qualify. So what do you make of
that
it?
They will not qualify?
Yeah, that's what I think. I think the situation is really, really tight. We're currently fourth, 4 games to go. How do they want to?
When you're looking at it, well, we have just the likes of Rwanda and Benin Republic ahead of us.
Now, talking about it, 4 games to go,
yeah.
And yes, we have 3 people in front of us. Now, 1 team would qualify automatically.
Yes.
You understand? That's 9 teams in total. Now, the second place from each group will go on.
Play,
qualification. And the mode of the qualification is quite tough. It's not just involving Africans. So I just feel like maybe first is hard. Second is where our hope lies. And the stress of going through that second place and eventually picking just one team, because there are 9 groups in Africa, and all first teams will qualify, and it's just 1 slot for the second place.
But then who is to say that we can still aim for that first place? I mean, if we're able to, in our next 2 games, the Rwanda and the South African game, if we're able to defeat those guys, I mean, who's to say we will not get? Because definitely once we've defeated those guys, I don't see any other challenge on our part. I just fear for that South African game. If we're able to really do justice, because previously under the previous management before Chell came on board, if you need the George and the rest of the guys, we've seen how we were lackadaisical with our playing against Zimbabwe, against Lesotho and the rest of them. If we had put in that fighting spirit, gotten some good points from those games, we won't be where we are right now. So I'm really praying that if we did not perform so well against the Zimbabwe's of this world, the Lesothos, I'm looking at how we are going to perform against the South African side. That remains to be the biggest hurdle I'm looking at right now. But if we could defeat South Africa with the lineup that Shell has put out, those fantastic, amazing boys he has drawn together, if we're able to defeat South Africa, I feel like this is still a very game on for us, because it would be very sad. I mean that since 1994 that we have debuted in this competition, we've not gone through this period. I mean, it's almost like twice now.
Even the last World Cup we're not there. Yeah,
so this will be like the second time that will not be featuring.
2018 was the last time. Yes.
Yeah.
2018.
So it'll be like this is the second time consecutively that will not be featuring, and it will be very bad. And when you consider we have the crop of players that
talent,
exactly. Yeah. I mean, the Siemens of this world, the Lookmans, the rest of them. So I feel like it should not be difficult. We should just aim fast, pray to beat South Africa. If we can do that, Rwanda is just a minor setback. The rest of them.
Rwanda is just
it's a minor.
We've played them already, and it was a town or different from
Bolabad. well. Now we have a chair in charge of these boys, and then we are beginning to see that everyone wants to give in their all. The Nigerians back at home, Nigerians outside the country, the players, everyone 100% know that everything is hanging on this. Plus, also contribute to the fact that you've seen the recent financial spree that has been going on with the Falcons, the Tigers. So everyone has that at the back of their mind that money is involved. If you can do well, there's extra motivation. Mm-hmm. So I feel like, as much as we've not done well in previous games, this time around, all these motivations, all of this fighting spirit that is coming on board, it's going to be a do or die affair for these guys. And I feel like they're going to pull up a very beautiful surprise for us.
Nigeria, they're going to pull up a
very beautiful surprise.
But you've not said it. Are they going to qualify? Do you think they would qualify? No.
That's why I said a beautiful surprise. No surprise can be beautiful if they don't qualify. So
all right.
Definitely they'll come up for us.
All right, just to take the group of Nigeria, we have South Africa first with 13 points, Rwanda, Benin with 8 points, Nigeria fourth with 7 points, Lesotho 6 points, and Zimbabwe who is currently the least on the table with 4 points. And we know right now that in Africa, you don't underestimate anything. Rwanda, Benin, always coached by...
Let me get this straight. You are mentioning a Rwanda side, a Beninese side, in the same statement, like you are saying...
But these are teams that we've played before, and it's not like we won them.
My brother,
we didn't win them.
You got to understand, you need to understand that with this crop of players that Nigeria has at the moment, no team in Africa, let's just say perhaps the South African side who are also good, or maybe the Ghanaian side are not even supposed to pose a threat. I mean, are you looking at that front line there, Victor Osimhen leading the pack, and then you have Ademola Lookman.
Let's wait it there.
You have the Alex Iwobis, and then the midfield, the Ndidi and the rest of them, and you are saying one Rwandan side or Beninese side. I don't know, seriously. It's just that there's no hunger, there's no fire enough. We need shell to push these boys. Something has to give right about now, because we will not take it. I mean, missing from the World Cup, it would be so disastrous. Seriously.
Well, if the coach of South Africa, Hugo Broos, can come out to say that Nigeria can still qualify, who then is Bobola? But let's move away from that and talk about the fact that Aroko Dare, Genk manager Thorsten Fink has confirmed that Tolu Aroko Dare is close to leaving the club. And according to reports, we have Wolverhampton Wanderers are reported to have opened talks with Genk for the Nigerian international. And right now, we are seeing Nigerian players move. Gift Orban moved to a club in the Serie C, Hellas Verona. And we saw Wilfred Ndidi move to Besiktas. And right now, Genk manager coming out to confirm that Tolu Aroko Dare might leave the club, that's Genk. And Ademola Lookman, we still don't know the situation. The fact that Nigerian players are switching at this summer, do you think there's anything, that's making all of these things happen?
Looking at it from a different perspective, let's not go to the Nigerian players first off. Let's look at it individually. For Tolu Aroko Dare, I think this is a nice one because the young man is doing so well. I mean, last season, I think he got about 20 goals or thereabout, plus about 7 assists or thereabout. If he performs at that level on a bigger stage, let's say coming to the Premier League and he does so well, I mean, we'll be looking at another Nigerian that is flying the flag high like Victor Osimhen. So I think this is a really nice, although let's not also forget that we had someone who performed in the Turkish league and then he came to Southampton and did not perform very well. Talking about, is it Paul Onuachu, right?
Onuachu,
that did not perform so well. So it's beginning to think, if you look at that trajectory, that history, you fear for Tolu Aroko Dare, but then he's still young. I think he's just 23, 24. So there's the possibility that he would peak, and moreover, if you look at where he's coming to, Wolves, it's not really, they are not its side that really sit back and don't play well. They come out and attack, and I'm sure it will play very well. Now, looking at Nigerian players moving, I think it's a nice one. The point where they are not doing so well, they feel like they are not comfortable where they are, and they want to seek moves away from those places. I think it's a very nice one. And looking at Ademola Lookman, if Ademola Lookman is able to move, that would be the success of it all, because that's the one player, African best player that Nigeria boasts of, and that is being held down. So if he's able to secure a move to perhaps a Tottenham Hotspur side or another side away from Atalanta, this would be a very wonderful season for Nigerian players.
Still talking about Nigeria, reigning CAF Women's African Cup of Nations champion, the Super Falcons, will begin the race to secure a spot for the 2026 edition of the African Cup of Nations with a two-legged clash against Benin Republic in the final qualification round. The coach Justin Madugo-led side who conquered the continent to win a record-extending 10 WAFCON title in Morocco last July will square up against the Cheetahs across two legs in a bid to qualify for the biennial showpiece. And Nigeria, the Super Falcons of Nigeria right there, after the fact that they've won the WAFCON for the 10th time, they will be starting, the qualifiers against the Benin Republic. So that's preparation against the next WAFCON right there.
Yeah, I think.
Are we aiming for the 11th?
Definitely. And aiming for the 11th, and then not just aiming for the 11th, I would like to think that Madugo will use these ones, because definitely we rushed through a lot of guys. tougher opponents to win the WAFCON, the likes of Morocco, the Tunisias, and the rest of them. So I think Benin Republic should be another easy one. What I think the coach Madugo should be doing is to use this match to try to get the young ones that he wants to bring on board, and not necessarily play the old players. He knows that those are the superstars already. Get young ones, test them in this game, and let's see how we can do justice to it.
All right, in the foreign scene, Alejandro Garnacho to Chelsea. What do you make of it?
well, I feel like it was a sour relationship. I mean, Garnacho is made for the top, yeah. Even though he just has this character flaw, he has this behavior that we don't understand. But seriously, it really pains me that Manchester United eventually let him go. But then let's see what he does in Chelsea. I'm sure it's going to succeed under the man there in Chelsea.
All right, it's time to go right there. Thank you so much for coming.
It's a beautiful one, and let's have a beautiful weekend.
All right, Melody Sunrise still continues with Bolabad until later today when I come your way again. I'm at Kimbo Bola Igufemi. Good morning.
All right, so we're back to it, and this morning we'll be going straight into what is actually raised a lot of concerns for people. Yesterday, news broke that the Immigration Service actually increased the amount which people would get Nigerian passport for 100% increment. Actually, if you've not heard about it, it's actually got a lot of people riled up, and a lot of people have been talking about it on social media so far. 32 pages for a Nigerian passport has now gone from 50,000 naira to 100,000 naira, and the 64 pages from 70,000 to 100,000 first last year, and from 100,000 now to 200,000 naira. That is what we'll be looking at today. The defense that the federal government has actually put out, to support or stand in solidarity with the increment or upward review of the Nigerian passport fee. Because on the front page of the Punch newspaper this morning, I took it as saying federal government defense passport price hike to 100,000 and 200,000. But in the meantime, this one is opportunity cardi tunes coming through. And once it is 9 a.m., we'll begin this particular conversation. So stick around and keep it locked.
So beautiful in my eyes, steady trouble in my mind. Oh, if I not go, you go pass me by. So here I am telling you my mind. See, this life can be short or long. No one is promised tomorrow. I call you my present and my future too. I'm not letting go. I won't let you go. Let me show you again. Sorry, I just can't help falling in love with you. Not like I'm intruding, so pardon my excesses. See this thing called love, or the kakaraka. I'm drowning so deep in love. What have you done to me? It be like you used to do, and I'm missing you. Oh yeah, can't you know? Give my sino, yeah. Say don't buy me, be a team. I won't let you go. Let me show you again. Would you stay with me? Kasoko, yeah.
Melody FM 100.7.
I will. If you're alive right now. will. Apply wisdom, make you seek not less to build your kingdom. I will. Let TikTok do the full basket and say you do what? Your body's too hot. See where you put ball, you want to gonna score. Baby low, gon' go as well. Cause I'm green every day like I big glue back on. I'm cocky, but I'm before God. I no go let any man gonna form King Kong. Never give up, more chop up. I've been a loose skinner since when I did come up. Akbalak me, Akbalak mo. I don't turn OG for this John. I'm a Miami, I'm a llama. She no guinea fowl, call it funny summer. Billionaires club, we be big boys. Young money, cash money, but we gotta make noise. On it too loud, we can shout. If we drink big stout, then we say we too proud. I'm a dancer, Jay low. I'm everybody, I'm good, oh my God. Rock well low, most stubborn now. It's a cool so, just so. Listen to me, I will. Hello, I live your life, I enjoy. Wipe your sorrow, I will. Go as it is, massively, go love you. Make it travel, I will. Apply wisdom, make you seek not less to build your kingdom. I will. Let TikTok do the full basket.
La la la, mama, mama, love. Big waist, big engine, I'm a dancer. More bomber, big body, I'm a jello. And I get on the girls and I love them all. I'm a bummer, I too much. Counts plenty money and I burn on stuff. And I know they carry kele with no like to chop. And I know they carry kele with no like to chop. Show me your best, call me a roll. Call me a roll, you like call me a roll. Bounce on my body, baby, friend boy. I'm a giant low, but don't take for the game. We stubborn, and I know if you tell you all the mouse, man don't run. Now I'm a giant you, man non stop. I'm on a giant place, I'm on no live your life and enjoy.
Wipe your sorrow, I will.
Go over to you, I saw them all up in one.
Make you travel, I will.
Signal light, apply knowledge, make you build your kingdom.
I will.
Go over to you, I saw them all up in one. I did drop Kelly, I be for Ghana song. I did sample with an every color. Casa, because for the turn down. After the club, me, I must allow. I go carry you, go far away. Every single day now, holiday. On my bed, they do as I say so. So many things I bring to the table. I dig by your company. Then you got the juice, stand ready. Girl, put your body in a love granny. Make you sing my name, can't stand it. Baby girl, I need you for the night and day. And when you call me, I'ma get you back again.
I will. Wipe your sorrow, I will. Make you travel, I will.
This is a journey into music and sound.
Hey people, this is Aramide.
What's up? My name is J1.
Yo, my name is K-Switch. Senna.
Credible right here.
Hey, yo, this is LKT.
Hey football on, yeah. Hi, my name is Niniola.
Hi, Abasa Conde, the Paramount King of Music. Yeah, one of my people, they call me Q-Dog.
It is your favorite boy, Sean Tizu.
It's your boy, Seriki.
And yo, it's your boy, Jide Crystal. And you're listening to Melody 100.7 FM. Don't touch that dial. It's absolutely...
Yeah.
All right, we're back to it, 9 a.m. sharp from the studios of Melody 100.7 FM, and we are now live inside of the People's Assembly. My name is Bolabad, and this is Melody 100.7 FM. It is time to talk about things going on in the country and how it affects you as a Nigerian or a citizen of the country at large. Okay, so today I already hinted on what we'll be talking about, but before we dive into all of that, let us give an explanation or a breakdown of what Melody Sunrise is all about and People's Assembly of Melody Sunrise is all about, just in case you are listening for the first time. Melody Sunrise airs every weekday from Monday through to Friday between 8 a.m. and 9:55. And once it is 9 a.m. every weekday, there is a segment on the show called A People's Assembly, where we get to talk about things going on in the country. Sometimes we talk about societal issues or cultural issues, so to say. It is like a parliament setting, or it is a parliament setting. Let's just state it as that. And, as any other parliament in the world, you would have the Speaker of the House and also honorables of the House. And for today, I'll be serving in the capacity of the Speaker of the House, and you listening will be serving in the capacity of an honorable of the House. So when you're calling in, when you have the floor, yes, you would call in and introduce yourself as such, as an honorable of the House. So say I was going to call in, I'd say my name is Honorable Bolabad, calling from Basharun constituency, because that is where Melody FM is located. That would mean that when you call, you mention honorable attached to your name, and then your location would be your constituency. Okay. So earlier, like I said, I've hinted on what we'll be talking about. So news broke yesterday afternoon, actually, that the federal government has reviewed a price of international passport to 100,000 naira and 200,000 naira respectively for 32 pages and 64 pages passport respectively. And the Nigerian Immigration Service, NIS, has increased the fees for 32 page 5-year and 64 page 10-year travel passport. In a statement on Thursday, immigration spokesman A.S. Akinlabi said the reviewed fees would take effect from September 1st, 2025. Now, the review would only affect passport application fees made in Nigeria, right? Now sets a new fee threshold for 32 pages passport and 5-year validity at 100,000 naira, while 64 pages passport with 10-year validity of at 200,000 naira. Meanwhile, Nigerian passport application fees made by Nigerians in the diaspora remains unchanged at $150 for 32-page passport with 5-year validity and $230 for 64-page passports with 10-year validity, Akinlabi says. The service reiterated its commitment to balancing quality service delivery with the need to ensure passport service are accessible to Nigerians. All right, this has caused a lot of tension, and people have been talking about it online and offline, with a lot of people asking why, right? And also, the federal government today has come out to defend the decision for the increment in prices of the international passport. Now, this morning, on the Punch newspaper, I read it on the front page saying that the federal government defends passport price hike to 100,000 and 200,000 respectively. The federal government on Thursday defended the upward review of Nigerian passport fees to 100,000 naira and 200,000 naira respectively, saying it was necessary to sustain quality and curb corruption and ensure timely delivery of travel documents. Now, the Nigerian Immigration Service, in a statement signed by its public relation officer, ACI A.S. Akinlabi, on Thursday, announced that from September 1st, 2025, application made within Nigeria will attract a new fee of 100,000 naira for 32-page, 5-year validity passport and 200,000 naira for the 64-page, 10-year validity passports. The review will only affect passport applications made in Nigeria. We need to note that, now set at a new fee threshold for 32 pages and a 64-page passport as well. Now, the NRS, however, said Nigerians in the diaspora will continue to pay the $150 for the 32-page and 5-year validity passport and $230 for the 64-page 10-year validity passport. Now, it explained that the adjustment was aimed at maintaining the integrity of the document while making issuance processes more efficient. The increase comes barely a year right? After the federal government approved an earlier adjustment in August 2024, around this time last year, 32-page 5-year validity booklet was reviewed upward from 35,000 naira to 50,000 naira. And in the space of 1 year, it has gone from 50,000 naira to 100,000 naira. Whereas the 64-page was reviewed, a 10-year validity was reviewed last year from 70,000 naira to 100,000 naira. And just a year after, it has gone on from 100,000 naira to 200,000 naira. Now, at the time, the NI said the hike was necessary to sustain the quality of the passport and improve service delivery. That was the reason for the increment last year. And surprisingly, that is the reason for the increment this year as well. Now, they actually, on Thursday, the Minister of Interior, Dr. Olubumi Tunjiojo, defended the new hike, saying, speaking in Abuja during the ministry's mid-tenure performance retreat, Tunjiojo said the hike would ensure timely delivery of passports and eliminate corruption. He said, our target is very clear. Within 1 week of enrollment, every Nigerian should have their passport in hand, not just delivering quickly, but delivering quality passports that reflect our integrity as a nation. Those were his words. He noted that the new system was designed to eliminate long delays and extortion that once forced the citizens to wait up to 7 months or pay as much as 200,000 to fast-track processing. He said in his words, the system that we inherited that had 6 months backlog, which we were able to clear in 2.5 weeks. Nigerians will apply for passports and wait endlessly, or be asked to pay hundreds of thousands of naira. My own daughter had that bad experience even when I was chairman of the House Committee on NDDC. My daughter wanted passport. It was a problem. I had to pay hundreds of thousands to be able to get a passport for my daughter, a 12-year-old girl. That era is over, according to Tunjiojo. Now, the minister disclosed that the centralized personalization center, the largest in Africa, would ensure fast processing and tighter security. He said, with this facility, we can print 5 times more passports than we currently need. Once you enroll, it doesn't take us more than 24 hours to vet. Printing capacity is no longer our problem, he explained. And as part of the reforms, Tunjiojo announced that Passport Control Officer, PCOs, will no longer have the power to approve or delay applications. Says some PCOs had so much power that they could decide not to approve or not to print a passport until they were settled. That abuse of power ends now, he declared. According to him, centralizing the approval process would curb corruption and restore credibility to Nigeria's travel documents. He said, we realized that the best way to cut corruption is to remove human contact to the barest minimum. Passport approval will no longer rest on PCOs. My responsibility is not for them to like me. It is to deliver efficiency. Let Nigerians be happy, he said. He added that the reforms will also protect the integrity of Nigeria's passport. As he says, my responsibility is not just to make passport available, but to ensure that anybody carrying it is a Nigerian. If you are not a Nigerian, you cannot carry it. It is about our national integrity. Citing past abuses, it recalled how foreigners once procured Nigerian passports. So far, they knew someone inside, so to say. I said in one incident, a Ugandan woman carrying a Nigerian passport was arrested at Lagos Airport after paying $1,000 to procure it. That cannot continue. Our passport must remain a true symbol of Nigerian identity, the minister stressed. While a lot of people are saying that things that is said were valid, right? Some are saying still, it shouldn't be this hard. In a country where 70,000 naira is set at the minimum wage, we shouldn't have to pay this much to get a passport, a Nigerian passport. A lot of people have dragged other countries into it, saying how much thus the United States, charge for the passports from their citizen. how much, does United Kingdom charge for passport procurement for its citizen? So those are the questions on several Nigerians' mind. Now the studio line is open and active. You can call me up or send messages 07055 071 007 07055 071 007 or 07025 201 007. What do you think? 100,000 naira for a 32-page passport and 200,000 naira for 64 pages. Hello, good morning, Honorable. All right, I lost that call. Try to call me back 07055 071 007 07055 071 007 or 07025 201 007. Those are the numbers to call me up on or to send messages to. Let me know what you think about this increment. Just last year, the prices went up from 35,000 naira, yes, to procure a 32-page passport with 5-year validity, and 70,000 naira for 64 pages, 10-year validity, to 50,000 naira and 100,000 naira respectively. And just a year after, it went from 50,000 naira and 100,000 naira to 100,000 naira and 200,000 naira. Do you think the reasons, the NRS minister has given is very valid, or do you think that this is too outrageous? 07055 071 007 07055 071 007 or 07025 201 007 07025 201 007 or 07055 071 007. Let me know what your take is on the situation. A lot of people are clamoring on social media already, and people are actually advocating for lesser pages of the Nigerian passport if the number of pages is the problem. 07055 071 007 07055 071 007 or 07025 201 007. We're looking at the hike in the prices of the Nigerian passports from 50,000 naira to 100,000 naira for 32 pages, and from 100,000 naira for 64 pages to 200,000 naira. What is your take regarding the situation? You can also head to Facebook and drop your comment at Melody 100.7 FM. Melody 100.7 FM on Facebook. You can either call me up or send messages 07055 071 007 07055 071 007 or 07025 201 007. Call me up or send messages. Hello, good morning. Hello. Hello, good morning, Honorable. All right, I lost that call again. Try calling me back 07055 071 007. I really want to hear your take on the situation. 07055 071 007 07055 071 007. If you can't get into the studio through that number, you can try 07025 201 007 07025 201 007. We have about, give or take, 15 more minutes to have this conversation. What is your take? Hello, good morning, Honorable. Hello. Oh my goodness. Hello. Okay. 07055 071 007 or 07025 201 007. You can try to call me on either of the numbers 07025 201 007. If that is the number you're calling and you are having difficulty to get into the studios, you can try the second one, 07055 071 007. Either call me up on 07025 201 007 or on 07055 071 007, or you can just head to Facebook and let's have this conversation. You could drop your comments on Facebook and I would read them. I'll be taking comments and messages in a bit. 07025 201 007. 07025 201 007 or 07055 071 007. We're talking about the increment or the upward review of the prices of the Nigerian international passport from 50,000 naira that it was increased to last year to 100,000 naira just in the space of 1 year, and also from 100,000 to 200,000 for 64-page international passport. What do you think? 07055 071 007 or 07025 201 007. Now, the NIS minister is saying that, we have to do this so as to allow it be seamless, and they're aiming for a week. You apply for under 1 week, you get your passport, no questions, no delay, no corruption, because they've actually tried to reduce human contact and human influence on the issuance of international passport to the barest minimum. He cited that some PCOs could actually delay or approve some, passports if they're being tipped or not tipped. While some actually said, he said that even some foreigners have actually been able to get passports, Nigerian passports, illegally, saying that, if you are going to have an international passport of Nigeria, you have to be a Nigerian. And on that part, I really want to commend them, because I was on the website last week. Hear me out. I was on the website last week. This thing, it's actually what is it? Because honestly, it pains me more than anybody. I was on the website last week because my passport is expiring soon, and I was going to look out for the process at which you can actually apply for a renewal, so to say. And honestly, I would say to a large extent that it was seamless, right? I imputed my passport number and then my NIN, and I was staring at my data, everything about me. In less than a minute, it popped up. And I was like, ooh, they're working. They're really, really working. I like this. Hello, good morning, Honorable. 07055 071 007. 07055 071 007 or 07025 201 007. So I was like, see, this thing, they're really working in this ministry. As a matter of fact, I was given a date where I could go to, the secretariat at Agudi here to actually have an interview done and everything. And I was like, oh God, this is so seamless. Hello, good morning.
Thank you, good morning.
Good morning, Honorable. Your name and where you're calling from?
My name is Olisa.
Good to have you, Honorable Olisa. Where are you calling from, sir?
This one is coming from Akpete area.
Okay, that is Akpete constituency. Good to have you. Let's have your take.
You see, you are dealing with a government that is giving pain to the people. And they call them governance. That's what we are passing to. You look at ordinary plate number for cars. Plate number where you buy a car. I'm not talking of driving license. I'm not talking of other things. What is it that they have not increased? What are they doing with all the money? How do they think that the common person on the Nigerian street will survive? What is the reason that the minister for whatever internal affairs or whatever is giving is to justify the behavior of his own ministry. You are talking about Ugandan woman carrying Nigerian passport. Let us say they make they take the passport to any amount. Does that change the behavior of those working in immigration? Does it change their bribery and corruption?
Well, it says it's trying to reduce the human contact so there would be no corruption.
My dear sister, he cannot. We are in Nigeria here. We see. Come to where we are living in Africa and see the massive property owned by people in immigration. Where are they making the money? How much is their salary? So, is it not corruption? I was planning just last week to go and renew my passport. I'm a retiree now. I retired from the university. How much is my pension? And so, if you don't have one or two children that have come out, you are out. Completely out. And you can know how many millions or thousands of Nigerians that will be affected that are in the same shoes that I'm wearing. They don't think about that at all. But go and see the amount of money they are spending. An ordinary special assistant or senior special assistant attached to, what do you call him, a member of the house. Go and see their salary. And go and see the salary of the university professor or retired from with 500 and something thousand for their earnings. Is that a country? They are looking for money, as much money, for their own personal political issues that they want to. So this one I'm telling you that you will do this. It will come out in 1 week. It will come out in 48 hours. So online.
So you're saying that it is not the reality on ground?
No! Let's be honest to ourselves. By the time you paid all that money, they revert to their old ways of doing things. Passport will be delayed. It will come out when they want. Or when you bribe, they pursue it personally for you. I've gone through the immigration several times. This is not the first time I'm renewing my passport. Even as an undergraduate those days.
So you're saying nothing has changed, even with the fact that he's saying that they're working on the system. Nothing has changed.
Nothing. Do you know that modification of behavior is a very serious construct? You will change the behavior of the person who was living by corruption to make money for himself, working in that type of ministry. You will change it overnight. I don't know how that will be done. Because I know that it is not, it's just talking to justify their increase they have made. Which is, they don't think about long-term impact of issues. That is why subsidy is gone. Subsidy is gone. Nobody thought about the subsidy going immediately. What implication does it have? Do you know the number of people who are dying every day? Those who are collapsing. You park your car and then you see somebody inside it, you think he's sleeping. He has died inside the car. There are several examples, even in Ibadan here, on the way to Lagos, the garage, up there, challenge. What happened now quite a month ago. Parked the car, died inside. We are not talking about those that are collapsing when they go for a bad day, but when they go. People are dying. Well, I don't know those who will vote for this type of government again. My prayer is, may the Almighty God open the way for us. Amen. And the Bible says that it came to pass. It will come to pass. And we will survive.
Amen. Thank you. Thank you so much, Honorable Issa, for calling in. Have a great day ahead of you. 07055 071 007 07055 071 007 or 07025 007. Hello, good morning, Honorable.
Good morning, Honorable Speaker.
Good morning. Your name and where you're calling from?
Your morning. What's speaking from Ibadan?
Good to have you on the show this morning. Let's have your take real quick.
I don't know why the federal government has chosen to keep implementing some kind of policies that doesn't sound pleasant and pleasant to Nigerians. Now, the nation is not working well, and if things are not going the way we expect, is it not better for people to japa I'll go and look out.
So Jackpot now, so if you need a hammer and a Lego with this new increment.
So that is the thing now. Because I fell a victim of this increment last year too. I wanted to do international passport last year. And that was the same period that the increment came up. Now imagine people now again still experiencing times 2 of what.
See, my sister, if I told you that I was about to say last week I was on the website, I was about to pay, and then the spirit of procrastination just entered me, and look at what I have to face now.
Imagine, it's really frustrating now. I don't know this kind of problem. And it's not like they're not flexing out there; they're enjoying. See, now they even claim that they want to even increase their own pay again. When all these are happening at the detriment of the masses, we keep increasing taxes, VAT, and everything, and yet still at the expense of the people. Now they expect us to come out by 2027 with their 50,000 naira for to buy our vote, and they expect us to vote for them by 2027. Things do not work the way they expect to, so they should know that Nigerians are now wise. And we are wise against APC leadership. We don't want what to keep on saying us. So they should do the needful.
Thank you so much, Honorable.
Boasting of good economy out there in abroad, when Nigerians are hustling and cashing out there. They don't even want to come back home now because they know what we are experiencing here. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your contribution. If you're just tuning in, we have about 4 more minutes. I mean, the calls started coming in late. The reception was terrible at first. We're talking about the increment in the prices of international passport from 50,000 naira, for 32-page and 5-year validity to 100,000 naira, and from 100,000 naira for 64-page passport with 10-year validity from 100,000 naira to 200,000 naira, all in the space of 1 year. Because this time last year, it was increased as well. Hello, good morning, Honorable. Hello, good morning, Honorable. Your name and where you're calling from? Good to have you, sir. Let's have your take.
Yes, please, sincerely speaking, I have to tell you, that money is not commiserating with the facilities and qualities they have been giving us as a nation, as a Nigerian. If you have been visited in any of the offices, you realize that you have to stand for longer hours. Not only that, when it comes in terms of hospitality as a nation, you get embarrassed. Those people over there, because of the uniform they put on, there are lots of true egalitarian in terms of attendance. They believe those people that are there, that they are the sons of the big men. In fact, sincerely speaking, let me tell you, my sister, if not because you are on the radio, you are on public here, there are many things that are not to be discussed. Sincerely, but you are tired of dying in silence. Those people there, they are not the son of Tinubu, they are not the son of Obasanjo. They are the son of individuals like me and you. And when they got there, they started doing different things entirely. When they retire, they come back on radio as a retirees. That they are afraid. So certain policies are there to be implemented as of now. Because they are the beneficiaries of at the detriment of the masses. They kept silence. Our home now, we are in the presidency now. And we are failed woefully now to implement some certain policies and make some corrective measures. A time will come. We are all clamoring together to suffer the fate of the High Court. That's what I think.
Thank you so much, Honorable Obami. Good to have you and have a great day. All right, 07055 071 007. One more minute and then we'll wrap this all up. 1 more minute and we'll wrap it up. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Honorable. Your name and where you're calling from?
My name is Honorable Adam, and I'm calling from Mojo constituency.
Okay, good to have you. Let's have your take.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you. See, in this under this administration, it's like they do not want us to enjoy anything. What exactly is it we're enjoying under this Baba Tinubu's administration? Nothing. Immediately he was sworn into power, he said subsidy has been removed. Since then, every little opportunity he has like this, he just wants to increase something. Why is he so? It doesn't mean that he's deriving joy in making life tough for Nigerians. And his family members are not even experiencing all of those things we are experiencing. It's really not nice. Let him pick a sector. Now ASU wants to go on strike. Nothing seems to be working. Can't he just pick a sector and work on a sector? Kilo kankan passport. What is business with that? The passport we got for 30-something, 50-something.
At some point, it was actually 18,000, and before then, it was 13,000 at some point.
You can imagine. We can imagine. He increased salary for workers. He is looking for every way, every means to milk us dry. On top waiting. Because of that 70,000 minimum wage. May God deliver Nigeria.
Amen. Thank you so much, Honorable Damilola. Have a great day ahead of you. And that's it for the People's Assembly for the week in its entirety. A big thank you to every single person that called in, sent messages. Tried to send in messages but couldn't. Yeah, because I got an empty text. Thanks to every single person that tried to call in. And, I'll be heading back to the music. And the Mechanics Lounge will be coming up in a short while. But in the meantime, this is Tua Savage, teamed up with Skepta with a song On The Low. New album is out today, My Perfection. But in the meantime, God bless Nigeria. Stick around.
Yeah, I'm off tour, we should celebrate, dedicate some time for you, baby, it's a day I can't be late, gotta regulate, cause I hate dirty looks on your pretty face, made back, I pulled up on a shitty day, I told her bring a passport, told her bring a case, fly out for a couple days, we should take a trip away, there's no time like the present, we're getting lit today.
On the low, meet between the sheets on the low, so that no one can see us on the low, make we just creep it though, I know you want the link on the low. We have to stay discreet, you don't know. And now we're on the street on the low. And if they asking about we, I don't know. We turn nothing to something and say that it's nothing. Stop all the fronting when we both know we're talking. It's not up for discussion. We don't do much discussing. So don't act like there's nothing when we both know there's something. You know you make me vex on the low. Boy, you make me stress, you don't know. Then you send me sweet texts on the low. So now I can't leave you alone. Yeah, might be in too deep. Can't save myself, kinda lose it. Feel like we're renting a service and you give me a tip. Mind going crazy, chasing lucid. We turn nothing to something and say that it's nothing. Stop all the fronting when we both know we're talking. It's not up for discussion. We don't do much discussing. So don't act like there's nothing when we both know there's something.
Yeah, I'm off tour, we should celebrate, dedicate some time for you, baby, it's a day I can't be late, gotta regulate, cause I hate dirty looks on your pretty face, made back, I pulled up on a shitty day, I told her bring a passport, told her bring a case, fly out for a couple days, we should take a trip away, there's no time like the present, we're getting lit today.
Melody 100.7 FM Ibadan. Stay cool with Melody.
La 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 la.
Vengo sul cuento, se no mamá si es from bed. Si cambio mucho, vengo sul cuento, yeah. Se mamá si es from bed. Say I'm a hustler, came from the street, not a regular. No. Say if you check, you go see. Say the bad you on this street for body.
say what lie I admit. I don't go international. Cambio mucho. Vendo sul cuento. Se non hustle, mama is from there. Se cambio mucho. Vendo sul cuento, yeah. Se non hustle, mama is from there. Say, oh, ro. The way I dey feel in my head, it is shock in my head, it is spin, and they feel from my body down to my spinal cord. Oh, ro. The way I dey feel in my head, it is shock in my head, it is spin, and they feel from my body down to my spinal cord. Inclusive sunica me ligero mi misma. Pronto me divirás. Se não vai saber de what it be. I've been on my body, they pepper me. I feel like it's my birthday, let's celebrate it. Come over prime time, I'm a love. Say I be street kid, gone now. And they call me on my road. When the street see me, it's a party time, come, let's celebrate it. Let's dance it, let's dance it.
Melody FM 100.7.
Going out tonight changes into something red. Her mother doesn't like that kind of dress. Everything she never had, she's showing off. Driving too fast, moon is breaking through her hair. She's heading for something that she won't forget. Having no regrets is all that she really wants. Only getting older, baby, and I've been thinking about it lately. Does it ever drive you crazy? Just how fast the night changes. Everything that you've ever dreamed of disappearing when you wake up. But there's nothing to be afraid of. Even when the night changes, it will never change me and you. Chasing it tonight, doubts are running round her head. He's waiting, hides behind a cigarette. Heart is beating loud and she doesn't want it to stop. Moving too fast, moon is lighting up her skin. She's falling, doesn't even know it yet. Having no regrets is all that she really wants. Only getting older, baby, and I've been thinking about it lately. Does it ever drive you crazy? Just how fast the night changes. Everything that you've ever dreamed of disappearing when you wake up. But there's nothing to be afraid of. Even when the night changes, it will never change me and you. Going out tonight changes into something red. Her mother doesn't like that kind of dress. Reminds her of the missing piece of innocence she lost. Only getting older, baby, and I've been thinking about it lately. Does it ever drive you crazy? Just how fast the night changes. Everything that you've ever dreamed of disappearing
Melody 100.7 FM.
Melody 100.7 FM. Stay cool with Melody.
She said, you don't want this heart, boy, it's already broke. Told me everything she touched just goes up in smoke. Only stay a couple nights, then she gon' be gone. I said, baby, you should know that's what I want. That's what I want, that's what I want. That's what I want, that's what I want. That's what I want, what I want. Now you ain't gotta worry about no trust issues with me. I got them too, I got them too. Now you ain't gotta worry about no exes, that's crazy. I got them too, you know I do. If you're in a hurry, now you ain't gonna hurt me tonight. And it won't be the worst thing if this is all it is. And in the middle of a kiss, she said, you don't want this heart, boy, it's already broke. Told me everything she touched just goes up in smoke. Only stay a couple nights, then she gon' be gone. I said, baby, you should know that's what I want. That's what I want, that's what I want. That's what I want, that's what I want. That's what I want, that's what I want.
There are no hard feelings if you only wanna act like others do. For a night or two. And sometimes in the morning go back to being someone you never knew. You never knew. Baby, don't
one night stand, she gon' be gone. I said, baby, you should know that's what I want. She said, you don't want this heart, nah, it can't be fixed. And I ain't ready to try on a night like this. But if you still wanna stay, there ain't nothing wrong. I said, baby, you should know that's what I want. That's what I want, that's what I want. That's what I want, that's what I want, that's what I want. That's what I want. Yeah, yeah. That's what I want, that's what I want, that's what I want. That's what I want. That's what I want, that's what I want.
I love this station, Melody 100.7 FM.
My baby on a Birkin. She's been telling me all night long. Gasoline and groceries. The list goes on and on. It's 9 to 5 ain't working. Why the hell do I work so hard? I can't worry about my problems. I can't take them when I'm gone. One, here comes the 2 to the 3 to the 4. Tell them bring another round, we need plenty more. Two stepping on the table, she don't need a dance floor. Oh my, good lord. Someone pour me up a double shot of whiskey. They know me and Jack Daniels got a history. There's a party downtown near Fifth Street. Everybody at the bar getting tipsy. Everybody at the bar getting tipsy. Everybody at the bar getting tipsy. I've been boozy since I left. I ain't changing for a shit. Tell my mom I ain't forget. Oh Lord. Woke up drunk at 10 a.m. We gon' do this shit again. Tell your girl to bring a friend. Oh Lord. One. Here comes the 2 to the 3 to the 4. Tell them bring another round. We need plenty more. Two stepping on the table. She don't need a dance floor. Oh my, good lord. Someone pour me up a double shot of this. They know me and Jack Daniels got a history. There's a party downtown near Fifth Street. Everybody at the bar getting tipsy. Everybody at the bar getting tipsy. Everybody at the bar getting tipsy. Here comes the 2 to the 3 to the 4. When it's last call and they kick us out the door. It's getting kinda late, but the ladies want some more. Oh my, good lord. Tell them drink some. Someone pour me up a double shot of whiskey. They know me and Jack Daniels got a history. There's a party downtown near Fifth Street. Everybody at the bar get tipsy. Someone pour me up a double shot of whiskey. They know me and Jack Daniels got a history. At the bottom of the bar, don't miss nothing. Everybody at the bar get tipsy. Everybody at the bar get tipsy. Everybody at the bar get tipsy. Y'all messed up before we kick me out the bar.
Melody FM 100.7.
For a while there it was rough, but lately I've been doing better than the last 4 cold Decembers I recall. And I see my family every month. I found a girl my parents love. She'll come and stay the night, and I think I might have it all. And I thank God every day for the girl he sent my way. But I know the things he gives, he can take away. And I hold you every night, and that's a feeling I wanna get used to. But there's no man as terrified as the man you, I need you, oh God. Don't take these beautiful things that I've got. Please stay. I want you, I need you, oh God. Don't take these beautiful things that I've got. Please don't take. I found my mind, I'm feeling sane. It's been a while, but I'm finding my faith. If everything is good and it's great, why do I sit and wait till it's gone? Oh, I tell you, I know I've got enough. I've got peace and I've got love, but I'm up and I think and I just might lose it all. Please stay. I want you, I need you, oh God. Don't take these beautiful things that I've got. Please stay. I want you, I need you, oh God. I need these beautiful things that I've.
All right. Every time I listen to that song, I love the fact that it ends with a prayer. Like literally, you can scream your lungs out. By the end of the day, just say that silent prayer, right? Anyway, Benson Boom doing beautiful things. Just in case you don't know the title of the song or the artist behind it, it's not a gospel song, but actually has that religious vibe to it. Anyway, it is 9:53 on the show from the studios of Melody 100.7 FM. Yeah, on the show too. Now it's time for me to leave. My name is Bolabad, and it has been Melody Sunrise from 8 a.m. up until now, the Friday edition. And as I wrap up the show today, I want to say a big thank you to every single person that tried to call into the studios, to every single person that called in, to those liking and dropping comments on Facebook. Thank you so much. And just in case you're not yet familiar, get familiar. It is at Melody 100.7 FM across all social media platforms. Melody 100.7 FM across all social media platforms. So to Olaleke Olutoyin on Facebook saying good morning to you too, and Ogeni Odeyemi Mokuri saying well done, thank you so much, beautiful morning to you. Till next Monday, when Melody Sunrise will be eating your airwaves again. God keep us, have a great weekend ahead of you. Just in case you want to contact me as well via all social media platforms, it is at Bolabad. That is BOLABAD, no space, no underscore, nothing. BOLABAD. Till next week, have a great weekend ahead of you. And like I always say, do not drink and drive. If you're going to be driving, the only thing that you should be drinking, not while driving anyway, is water. Okay? And have a great one. Bye for now. Leaving you in the hands of Durella and Stoneboy doing them dead. Orelu comes up next.
Yeah, you know. Oh, yeah. Raise the banner. It was a one man in the place, you know. Hey, Jella. Big up on yourself, you don't know it's set, man. We say Afro dance out to the world and we are top on Kings we set.